If you're a small business owner, I'm gonna share with you in this video my absolute favorite method of getting a small business website launched. I'm gonna show you all the reasons why I like it so much, and then we're gonna end it by me actually showing you a demo of how to do it. I'm Wes McDowell, a web strategist for The Deep End, and a few months back, I did a video all about the WordPress themes that I recommend most for small businesses. And while I still recommend using WordPress over any of the other page builders out there like Wix or Squarespace or Weebly or ClickFunnels or Lead Pages, anything like that, I have found a new plugin that's a page builder you use with WordPress that has basically replaced the functionality of the traditional theme. And that plugin is called Elementor. Now, you still technically need a theme to make it work, but the good news is you can use a really simple free one like Astra or the Hello theme, and then you do all the building and all the customizing using the Elementor page builder. And the cool thing about it is you don't need to know a single line of code, okay? I'm gonna level with you. I am a hopeless non-techie person. I don't know code, I never have, I never wanted to, but I was able to get up and running in Elementor within minutes, and I actually spent quite a bit of time playing around in there because it's a lot of fun to start customizing and making your site really look the way you want to. So now, why do I recommend Elementor for small businesses? You know, there's several reasons. The first being, like I say, there's not a steep learning curve in getting up and running with it. And in a few minutes, I'm actually going to show you a demo of how to get it set up on your WordPress website and how to build a really simple homepage in a matter of minutes. Secondly, it's really customizable. So back when we were talking about themes, you'd basically have to choose the most appropriate theme that really fits with your content. And then from there, you're basically kind of locked into the layouts that it comes with right out of the box, unless you want to pay a developer to make extra tweaks to the code. So what would usually happen is you'd just find the closest page layout, and then you'd have to sacrifice some things with your content. You'd have to either add new text where you didn't want to have any text just because there was a place for it on the page, or even worse, you would have to start taking really important text out because there wasn't a place for it in the theme. But with Elementor, you not only have access to those same kind of template pages, you can use that if you want, but you also have content blocks. So basically, you can just take a look at all of your content, your written content and your images, and then start finding the right blocks to serve that content and just stack them one on top of each other. So it's very customizable. And you can even go full on freeform if you're inspired to do that. I'm gonna show you how to do that in a little bit as well. And I guarantee you, once you've started playing around with it for a few minutes, you'll definitely feel confident enough to do that. Third, it's incredibly easy to customize the overall look and feel of the site so that it feels very unique and very branded to your own business. And it's easy even if you're not a designer. All you really need to do is choose from any one of the really well thought out and well designed content blocks. And then from there, what I recommend you do is just go around the internet, look for websites that you like the look and feel of, not to copy them, but just to get some inspiration from, for colors and fonts that you like. And speaking of fonts, that's another cool thing about Elementor. Right out of the box, when you use it, you have access to all of the Google fonts there are. And right now, as of when I'm recording this, there's 916 Google fonts. So there's no shortage of ways you can customize the site. So in a second, we're going to go right inside the computer so I can show you how easy it is to get Elementor installed on your WordPress, as well as what you can do with it. But keep in mind, this is only the tool that's going to bring your vision and your strategy to life. So if you want to know exactly what should go on your website and how to create a really profitable client-generating website for your business, you're going to want to click right up here to get access to my free masterclass. And that's called How to Create and Launch Your Own Profitable Client-Generating Website. So again, click right up here to access that. And with that in mind, let's just roll up our sleeves and get started over to the computer. Okay, so the first step is actually getting a brand new WordPress install on your website. So I'm here on Bluehost. This is who I use. I recommend them if you don't already have one. So the steps may be a little different if you are using a different web host, but basically you're just going to want to follow the steps to get a fresh WordPress install going. So I'll show you how to do that on Bluehost. I'm just going to log into my account. So what we're actually going to do is make a staging site with this brand new WordPress install so that if you have another website already, this isn't going to disturb that. You're just going to make this on the side until it's ready to go. So go over to where it says My Sites, and then I'm going to click on Create Site. And then just give it a name. It's going to call it Staging Site for now, and click on Next. And then just go ahead and, so it's going to have your domain name, and then you're going to come up with the directory where it goes. So I would just do / staging, just like that. I'm going to click on Next. Okay, once it says WordPress installed successfully, I'm just going to go to log into WordPress. So the first thing we have to do is add a really simple theme to the WordPress install, as well as our Elementor plugin. So let's go ahead and go over to Appearance and Themes. And I'm going to go ahead and click on Add New Theme. And I'm just going to search for Astra. You can also do the Hello theme, which is brand new, for use with Elementor. That one's probably just as fine. So either Astra or Hello, they're both free. So go ahead and click on Install right there. The thing is, you're not going to use the actual theme too much. It's mostly it just has to be there in the background, but you're not going to use it too much. And I'm going to click on Activate. Okay, so next we have to add in the Elementor plugin. So go ahead and go down to Plugins, Add New. And I'm just going to search for Elementor. Click on, so it's Elementor Page Builder, and then just Install Now, and then Activate. All right, so let's just get started and just click on Create Your First Page. Okay, but before we get started, what we're going to want to do is set the fonts up. So go ahead and click on these three little lines over here, and then click on Default Fonts. And here's where you're going to set. So basically, you can go to googlefonts.com and pick out whichever font you want. They've got almost 1,000 of them, so there's plenty of choices. So I'm going to go ahead and click on, for primary headline, I'm going to choose, it's called Comforta. I don't know how you pronounce it, but that's how I'm going to pronounce it. And then for secondary headline, I'll do the same. And then for body text, I'm going to do Montserrat. I just find that to be a nice, easy to read body copy font. So, and then click on Apply up here. And now we're ready to start building our page. So just go ahead and there's several ways you can add content to the site. You can click on the little folder, which loads up all these page templates, which I don't necessarily recommend because they're never going to be exactly what you need them to be, which means you're going to have to like subtract a lot of stuff away and then add new stuff. It gets confusing. So the better thing to do, what I like, is just the blocks feature, where you've got all these different content blocks that can serve the, whatever your needs are. And we're only going to be working in free Elementor today, but keep in mind there's a lot of pro blocks that you need Elementor Pro for. And I highly recommend getting Elementor Pro actually. It's only $50 and you just have a lot more features with that. But so anyway, you just find, whatever content block fits your content best, and then you customize from there. So, if you're looking at it and it looks really boring, it's all black and white, don't worry, you customize the background images, the colors, the fonts, everything else to where it looks very unique to your brand at the end of the day. But for now, I'm going to forego doing it this way for our hero section because there's not a hero section that I really like out of the box that has everything we need. So I'm just going to show you how to do something from scratch. So go ahead and click on the plus icon. And right here's where you can choose how many columns you want. I'm just going to choose one column like that. So here's our little section. It's outlined in blue. It looks like nothing right now because there's nothing in it. So let's go ahead and change that. Let's add a background image. So I'm just going to go ahead and click this section right in the middle with the 6 dots and then go over to Style. And then background type, I'm going to click on the little, just where it says Classic. And I'm going to click right here on this image area. And here we are just going to drag our image right onto the screen here. So it's a nice image of a woman with her dog. So I'm just going to click on Insert That. And it still doesn't look like anything because there's no content in it. So let's go ahead and change that. So we're going to, while we still have the whole section highlighted, we're going to go over to Layout. And where it says height here, we're going to change it from default to minimum height. And then we're just going to drag it a little bit like that seems like about the right size to me. Then we're going to go up to Style. And while we're choosing this image here, we're going to do size away from default to cover. That means it covers the whole section here. And then we're going to do something else. We're going to take attachment, and this is up to you. You can do it however you want. I like to set it on fixed so that as you scroll down, the image stays in place. I kind of like that effect. So now we obviously need a headline and a subheadline here, and probably a call to action button too. So what we're going to do, there's like this little gray box here. This is where we add our content. So go up to the 9 dots up here. This is where all of your assets live. Like, this is where all the things you can just kind of drag into place and then customize are. So let's take a heading. We'll just take that and drag it right in there. And of course it's hard to read, but we're going to change that. And go back to the 9 dots, click in a text editor and drag it right below the heading. And then we're going to go back and we're going to get a button and drag that and put it right underneath both of those. And of course, this doesn't look so great right now. So what we're going to do is just make it a little easier to work with. Go up to the 6 dots up here, and under Style, let's collapse background and choose background overlay, and just choose a classic one. So this is just going to add a color on top of the image to kind of knock it back a bit and make it easier to read the text. So under color, just click here, and I'm just going to click on black. You know, that's probably good right about there. I don't think I need to mess with it too much. And now we're just going to mess with the text a bit to make it a little more legible. So go ahead and click on the heading, and then Style, text color, I'm going to choose white. And then I'm going to choose typography. This is where we make it however big we want, how small we want. So I'm going to make it bigger. And then that looks fine to me. And let's do the same for this text right here. So I'm going to do Style, text color white, typography. Let's go ahead and make it, you want to make it at least 18 pixels usually. That's how it looks good. And then I'm going to center it. I'm going to click on the heading again, and I'm also going to center that. And while we're here, let's go ahead and put in our actual text. So I'm just going to go ahead and paste that right there. And the same with the subheadline. Now let's make a few last minute adjustments here. So I'm going to click on, so basically what I want to do, generally you don't want the text to be this long, this wide. You want it to be a little less wide so that it's easier on the eyes. So I'm going to click this section, and then layout, and then content width, it's box, which is good. So now we get to drag this to be the exact right, you know, width that we can work with. So that looks pretty good to me, just like that. Okay, so now let's focus on the button. So what we're going to do is just click on it, center it, and I'm going to choose the size away from small. I'm going to make it large, because we want our call to action button to be very large and in charge, and so people know exactly what they're supposed to do, which is not click here. We're going to change the language there to get a free consultation, and now we're going to change the style up. So I'm going to go ahead and typography and choose that Comforta. I never know how to pronounce that, but I'm just going to pretend that's it. And then weight, I'm going to make it bold, which didn't do a whole lot, but it's a little bolder. And then I'm going to go over to background color and change that to the color that I've decided I want it to be, which is this orange color. And I like that. I just don't like that there's so much room between this and the button. So I'm going to click on this text and go up to advanced. So I'm going to make the bottom margin a little less. So basically what you want to do anytime you're messing with margins or padding, you want to unlink the values. If you're just trying to mess with the bottom and you don't want them all to be the same, because look, if I make this bigger, it's the same for all. So I'm going to get rid of that and just click this. So then the bottom one, I'm just going to go into the negatives here to make it closer. And let's just take a look. I mean, that looks much better to me. So, okay, go ahead and expand that back out. And now let's go on with the rest of the page. So down here, I'm just going to choose another section. So what I would want to do is probably have a section that's like a little bit of a paragraph on the left and a video on the right. So let's choose a section that has 2 columns that we can kind of mess with like that. So let's see what we can find here. A lot of testimonials. Okay, so this one I'm going to use, I'm just going to click on insert. Okay, so it's going to be a paragraph over here with a headline and a video over here. So I'm just going to go ahead and change that text. And I'm just going to click on these dots up here and then go to text editor and drag one right underneath there like so. And I'm not going to bother changing that text, but you would if you wanted to. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to right click here and then delete that text. So what I'm going to do now is go up to the 9 dots and then take the video and just drag that right here. And the way you add whatever video you want, so basically, let's say you have a video about your business and you have it up on YouTube or even Vimeo, you just drag that player right in place, and then you click on the pencil icon right here, and then here's where you just input, you can choose YouTube, Vimeo, Dailymotion, or self-hosted, and then you just type in the link to it right here. It's as easy as that. Now let's go ahead and customize the background of this. So click these dots, so we choose the section, go up to style, and this time I'm not going to do just a normal background. I'm going to do a gradient. So go ahead and click the middle one there. And I think I want something that's kind of like a sky, like from white to blue, like a cloudy sky. So I'm just going to choose like a nice blue, maybe something more like that. And then I'm going to choose white. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And you can always change the angle too. So yeah, I think I would prefer the white being on top and the blue at the bottom, so that's perfect. And I'm just going to change this text to black. So just choose that, then style, text color, black. Perfect. Now I'm going to put a section that I think every website needs, which is just kind of a benefit section. So let's choose something for that. There's a lot of different ways we can go here. I'm going to click on the folder, and see here you can filter between the different kinds of text blocks there are. So I'm going to click, there's nothing that says benefits, so features is the closest thing they have. I'm going to click that. So you could do a version where, you know, there's 3 in a row here with kind of an icon above them. You can do it to where there's an image over here and then the 4 here. I'm going to do one, I think I like this layout. I think it's interesting. So I'm going to click on insert. And of course, it doesn't make much sense to have a big smartphone in the middle here. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on that and replace it. So I'm going to click over here on the image, and I'm going to drag a new picture right into place. I'm going to choose this dog with a white background, and I'm just going to click on Insert Media. So there we got the nice, happy little dog here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put in the different benefits and to fill in this text. Okay, so I've updated the text, and now what we want to do is just make sure that we have the right icons here. So luckily for us, for our little dog training example, we've got a paw print we can use. Perfect. So let's just go ahead and do that. And I'm just going to go ahead and add that same paw print in all of them. Okay, just like that. So now we've got a nice little benefits section. But now we need a testimonial section. Every page needs that. So go ahead and just click down here again on the folder, and let's find a good testimonial block we can use. So go ahead and click on blocks. And then remember, we can search. So under category, look for testimonials, and that'll bring all those up. There's a lot of pro ones here. So we're going to try to find one that is just part of the free version. Yeah, this one's good. I'm just going to click on insert this one. Okay, so right away though, we don't want it to blend in so much with the white here. We want to give this a background color, just a matter of personal preference. So I'm going to click there on the section and then style, background type classic, and let's just go ahead and give it a color. I found this nice yellow I want to use. The only problem is now these boxes also have a yellow background, which I'm not loving that. So I'm going to click on, each column here is different. So I'm going to click on the column, and then style, because the problem is it's kind of clear. It's not given a background color. So style, classic, color, white. Just like that. Perfect. So what I'm going to do then is actually, here's a little trick for you. Just go ahead and right click on copy, and then go here and right click paste style, and then paste style again. So that's an easy way of doing them all at once. And then of course from here you would want to customize the quotes, of course, and then the images as well. So you just go ahead and click there, and you would click right on the image and you would drag the new picture into place. We're not going to bother doing that. It's pretty easy to do. But that is most of our page here. So what I'm going to do now though is we want to do a nice header. This one's not going to cut it. So there's a few things we have to do. I'm going to click on update down here. And the first thing we actually want to do to get rid of this up here first is let's click on these those 3 lines and then go to exit to dashboard. So what we do here, now we're back in WordPress, not Elementor. So the thing we have to do to get rid of that ugly header is over on the sidebar, click where it says disable primary header. Just click that and then on update. And now back to edit with Elementor. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to make a really simple header. What we want to do is right above this hero section, click on the plus. That's going to add another section above it. So click that. And then click on the plus sign. We're just going to make this from scratch because there are no good free headers out of the box to use. So we're going to make one, and it's pretty easy. I'm going to click on the 3-column layout. So what we're going to do here is we have space for the logo, the navigation items, and a call to action button. Very important to always have that up here. So I'm going to go ahead and just right click on this button and do copy. And then I'm going to go right up here and I'm going to paste it. So we have a version of it right up there. And then I'm going to go ahead and go to the grid over here where we have all our elements we can use. I'm going to take a text editor, drag it right to the middle column, and then an image and bring it to the left column. Drag this over here to where the image is not taking up the whole screen. And then what you want to do in order to use your logo, assuming you have one, you're just going to click rather on that. Then you're just going to drag your logo right onto the stage here like so. And then insert media. So you've got a nice little logo there. And the way you mess with the size of it is you just go to image size, and I'm going to go to custom, and I'm going to make that about 100 pixels wide. And then click on apply. Yeah, that's much better. And then in the text editor here, you would type in all of your navigation items for your pages. There is a more elegant way of doing this. We're not going to cover it in this video, where it actually uses the pages you have in your menus on the back end of WordPress. But we're just going to do a really easy version of this right now. Okay, so I've typed those all out. So then you would just, highlight the section and then click on the link, and then you would link to that page. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on this section here to bring it down so it's kind of more in the middle, and then go to advanced, and I'm going to deselect the link on margin, and I'm going to give the top a bit more of a margin, just like that, to where it's much more centered. And let's see what this looks like. It's better. I think there's a few things we need to do here. I'm going to click on this section, and I'm going to left align it. I'm going to click on this section, and I'm going to right align it. And then I'm going to do the middle section, and I'm going to also right align it. So see how when you go down, when you scroll down, we lose the header? Unfortunately, there's not a way of keeping it sticky on the free version of Elementor. But if you have the paid version, you can make it sticky. So that's another reason why I recommend the paid version. But this is, good enough. It'll get the job done. But this is a really nice looking page that you can customize any way you want. And it really only took us a few minutes to get this done. So imagine what you can get done on your whole site if you had a day, a Saturday to kill. You could get a whole lot done. So I hope you can see how easy this actually is to use and how it replaces that guesswork of, what theme do I need? And this is an infinitely better solution than going with, Wix or Squarespace or one of those other page builders where you never actually own your website. And it's just as easy to get up and running as with those less appealing options. And remember, if you want access to my free on-demand video training, how to create and launch your own profitable client-generating website, just click right here to get access to that. All right, guys, I'm Wes McTowell for The Deep End, and I'll see you in our next video.